when you're on social media, there's like 4 people that follow you, 4 groups of people. There are people who are trying to follow your life.
Yeah.
There are people who are inspired by your life. There are people who are entertained by your life, and there are people who are hating on your life.
Boom. That's so good.
Those are the 4 groups of people.
That's really the 4 groups.
That's the 4 groups of people that follow you.
Yeah.
And guess what? No matter how good intentioned the people who gain inspiration or how ill intentioned the haters are, because some people want to share things for the good intention, right? To inspire people, and some people want to share things to show the haters that they still getting it. But regardless, those 4 group of people are all in the one group of strangers that don't really matter. The ones that matter the most are the real people in your real life.
That's correct.
And if you want to share something, especially like you're in a relationship with somebody, share it with the real people in your life. And then if you feel like you're ready for whatever reason, whether it's to inspire, whether it's to keep people up with your life, whether it's to entertain, or whether it's to show the haters, like, look at me, y'all said I was never going to do it, but I did it. Make sure that you are ready for that, because now you're opening yourself up to others' opinions. Hey guys, welcome back to Real Love Scenario. Shout out to all our real lovers out there. We are back, Rhonda.
My gosh,
Doesn't
back.
it feel
Like
good?
literally in the same room back.
In the same room back. As you can see, different setup. We were in person for a little while, then for a lot of while. Then we went virtual for a little while.
Yes.
And now we back in person.
Look at that.
Press
And
the
as
flesh.
per usual, synergy.
Look at that. Black. We didn't even plan this.
No, we did not.
We did not even
We
plan
did not
this.
plan this.
But we're so happy to be back with Real Love Scenario. Shout out to all the real lovers out there. If you want to join the Real Lover gang, like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. And we're excited to jump into this kind of new, refresh version of the show. As you guys know, for a long time, we always did write-ins, which we still are going to do and want to do. But our last episode before we left, we talked about the state of relationships in 2025.
Yeah.
And a lot of people really liked
Y'all
our
felt
perspective on that, and they felt that. So we are just going to tackle some different relationship topics that will still be helpful, just like they are with all the other old scenarios that we did, but it just won't be a story to lead into it. We'll just talk about these topics and hopefully everyone gets something from it. So
That's right. It's gonna be so good. And like Dre said, we're still going to take your write-ins. We'll certainly pepper them in when they make sense, and it also give us an opportunity to really like have you connected to us when we're dealing with your story. If you've been here for a long time, you know that a lot of times we're like, we have so many questions.
Right.
Wait, how old are you? What's the follow-up? Do you have kids together? Like, do y'all live in the same city?
Yep.
So we want to make these scenarios a lot more enriched by having the real lover a part of that. So as things come up for you, if you still want to tap in with us, we're certainly here. And I know, Dre and we still get people reaching out to us and DM like, can you help me? And I'm happy to help. So if you need something right here, right now, you will know where to find us for sure. So that has not gone away.
not at all. So what are we talking about today, Rhonda?
Oh my goodness. Probably want to like a light, funny topic, but now that we live in such a digital age, this is a very important topic. 10 years ago, this kind of didn't matter.
Yeah.
But today we're talking about the soft launch, the big debate on how to launch your relationship, more so in the social media world. But I think it matters in general, right? Like when you're dating someone and even in real life, you're like, when is it time to really start talking to people about this person? Yeah. Do I bring them around my friends and family? Like, when is all of that supposed to happen? So we are jumping into the soft launch debate today.
I'm excited. Let's do it.
Me too. Because listen, I'm a soft launcher, and I stand by that very, very, very strongly. That like you should take your time a little bit when you get into it. I feel like you and Bree, do you feel like y'all soft launched or hard launched? I feel like you hard launched.
We soft launched.
You soft launched?
Yes.
Okay, it's been so long.
Yeah, we actually soft launched our relationship because early on when Bree and I met, I was getting into the modeling space.
Okay, yeah.
And at this time, social media was more about, or Instagram specifically was more about pictures than it was like videos or anything like that.
I don't even think Reels was a thing.
Yeah, Reels is not a thing.
No.
I remember IGTV was a thing at one time,
I
but I don't even
that.
think that was a thing. Vine was probably still popping during this time, and Snapchat people. Well, I don't even think stories were even a thing at that point.
No, I don't think so either.
So because I was in a modeling space and we were trying to grow my following and brand, it was actually Bree's idea, my wife's idea, to say like, let's hold off on showing me on your page as you're building in this space, because the illusion of singleness makes you more desirable and you'll gain more followers. They might be women, but it is what it is. And that will help you ultimately pursue the different things that you're trying to pursue. So even when I secured the Shea Moisture opportunity and that went viral and that helped grow my following, Bree wasn't really on my page at all. So it was just like following in, like, who are these sexy bearded black men, blah, blah, blah. It's like rolling in.
That was a time.
Yeah.
That was a time.
That was a time.
That was a wonderful ad too. Like just that overall campaign was really great.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Never expected it to go viral like that, but that kind of launched me into the modeling space. But yeah, we definitely soft launch into the hard launch until we made a transition to say like, we are going to, part of our outward brand is each other and the journey that we're going on and waiting for marriage. And it's so funny that even now with us so established in this relationship space, not so long ago, whenever we would post one another, we would lose followers, 100 followers, 120 followers, 200
that trips
followers,
me out,
which is
so
like
much.
So insane.
Yes.
It's like, I did not come here for this.
But you weren't here for, I mean, you could still look at him like you weren't going to date him anyway, but whatever.
Some people I think be holding out.
That's true. They hold out hope.
Yeah.
They really do hold out hope. Like, I have always, as long as I can remember, like soft launched a relationship, and in like that funny way that we joke about or talk about today, like showing a portion of the person, like
a hand,
or it's obvious that like I'm on a date, but you don't see who I'm on a date with. I've always done that. And I will say one of the greatest creations for me when it comes to social media is close friends. And I have very specifically curated my close friends to be people that I know, that are friends and or very trusted people, and not just a thing of like subscription based who just engages the most. It's really people that like I trust. And so that has also helped with the launching thing, because it's like, you know, I can be a little sneaky back here. I can hide a little bit. And I think it's cool to like pace yourself. You know, like you sometimes it feels like it's going really good, but then it could take a turn, and thankfully you haven't hard launched. Thankfully you haven't like put this whole person out there, tagged them, done all of those things. So I don't think there's anything wrong with like taking your time a little bit. I do sometimes though struggle with like what people think is a soft launch, but is actually a weird ass hard launch. Like you and person standing right next to each other, your head, their head, but then you like put a emoji over their head. Like, that's just strange. Like that's not.
Like at this point, you might as well just tell us like who is that?
Yeah, the image just looks strange. I literally came across this girl's page who was like blurring the face, so it just looked like a faceless person, like not an emoji over it, but all of their facial features are just swiped away, so it just looks like skin. And I was like, girl, no, if it's gonna be all of that, then just hold it back. You know, just hold it back. We used the wrists, we used the fingers, we used to maybe the back of his head.
And it starts to make you wonder. And I think this is where people get criticized the most about it is, are you both on the same page about it? Right.
That's it.
It starts to feel like a little gimmicky at times, or that are you forcing this person against their will to do this thing that they don't seem like they want to do? Or why show us that you're in a relationship but not want to reveal the person? This is something that seems different about it. Because I think there's a difference between like, I'm enjoying myself, you know, with a person versus like you said, here's the whole body, here's the shoulders, here's the ears, but I'm not going to let you see the face. So I think
that there is a huge difference. And let's just like dive straight into that, because I do want to dig a little deeper into this conversation. And I think there is some framework to talk about, because while we can laugh and joke about the funny pieces of launching your relationship and sometimes the silliness that ensues on social media, I do think that there's a framework around why people are very mindful about how you introduce your relationship, whether again in the digital world or in the analog world, where you're thinking about it with like your real family and friends. And so the four things that come to mind and in this framework is privacy, right? Pace, protection, and proof of life. And so I want to kind of dive into those because I feel like those perfectly kind of talk about, or those 4 points really lean into like what you're thinking about along the way. So obviously the first one is privacy, right? I am a private person, and I don't know that I would have said that a year ago, even though I was a private person. I really feel like I kind of always have been. And I struggle when you live in the social media world, or when you're front facing or curating a brand or doing whatever. I've always struggled with storytelling and authenticity around that. And because I do think a certain level of authenticity is exposure, right? You can't say you're super authentic, but then you don't expose anything, right? You're omitting. So you're not fully leaning into it. But then I'm also like, I don't know if I want to give that all the way out, because I want something to myself. I want to feel like you know me, but you don't.
Yeah.
You know this part of me, but like not the other. And of course, privacy also speaks to just like safety, right? Like thinking about like you and Bree, you're a man. You want to be protective over the situation. And a part of that is like, I don't want to expose every time we're out on a date, or like specifically where we are. You know, if you frequent popular spots and you're in this dating phase with someone, it's like, if I'm tagging where I am, if I'm showing all of those things, how safe is this situation for her and or for us? So I think privacy is a bit of a struggle when it comes to exposing your relationship or exposing who you're dating at the time.
Yeah, no, I agree. And my wife is not on the privacy side a lot, and I have to
show it all.
I have to hold her back. Even times I'm like, we posted a YouTube video and I was like, it has like literally our apartment number on the thing. And she's like, oh, nobody's going to see that. And I'm like, yeah, like people can put things together. Like you tell them where we live, what's next to it. Like they can kind of put it all together. But I think when evaluating privacy, it's really you asking the question, what do I want to open up to a stranger's opinion?
Yeah.
And that's really what it is, because if you keep it in your home between the people that need to know, the people that matter are the ones who draw opinions and conclusions and are the ones who make decisions on this thing. But if you open it up to the public, you're now soliciting or unsolicited getting, opinions and thoughts from other people, which for all intents and purposes can be positive, right?
Yeah.
But it can also open up the negative too. It can also open up people making assumptions about you with a little piece of information, because rarely on social media can you get the whole entire picture.
Yeah.
And I think the most important thing that people probably have to understand is that when you're on social media, there's like 4 people that follow you, 4 groups of people. There are people who are trying to follow your life.
Yeah.
There are people who are inspired by your life. There are people who are entertained by your life. And there are people who are hating on your life.
Boom. That's so good.
Those are the 4 groups of people.
That's really the 4 groups.
That's the 4 groups of people that follow you.
Yeah.
And guess what? No matter how good intentioned the people who gain inspiration or how ill intentioned the haters are, because some people want to share things for the good intention, right? To inspire people. And some people want to share things to show the haters that they still getting it. But regardless, those 4 group of people are all in the one group of strangers that don't really matter. The ones that matter the most are the real people in your real life.
That's correct.
And if you want to share something, especially like you're in a relationship with somebody, share with the real people in your life.
Yeah.
And then if you feel like you're ready for whatever reason, whether it's to inspire, whether it's to keep people up with your life, whether it's to entertain, or whether it's to show the haters, like, look at me, y'all said I wasn't never going to do it, but I did it. It's like, make sure that you are ready for that, because now you're opening yourself up to others' opinions.
As you nailed it, man. Like, for sure. Every single thing you said. And even when I think about how I engage those are the pockets that I engage. If I'm not genuinely interested in their life, or if I don't find them entertaining, or I don't draw inspiration from it, I don't engage.
Yep.
Right? Like that last category, just that ain't even in my ministry.
We might not follow that person, but we might check their page sometime. Be like, let me see what they up
to. Yeah. Like anybody that I quote unquote hate, it is from a genuine personal experience that causes me to actually dislike the person. But hating on someone is just not my thing. And I think it's realistic to sometimes feel like envious, like maybe you want something that they have. But if you notice that causes you to just like say weird things, or you can't be happy for them, like you a hater, baby. It's this, and maybe that's an episode for another day. Learning when you are in fact the hater. But let's move on to pace, because I think this is where it can get really sticky, right? Like most people, when you have this new connection, it feels good, right? It's exciting. It's especially if you've like been out of the market for a while, or you've been single for a while, and now you meet someone and it's like, oh, cute, I'm getting this. He's bringing flowers. He's taking me here. He's saying all these things to me, like, or she made me my favorite cake, or she sent me something. She got my hair cut. Like you feel so almost like overwhelmed with these happy feelings, and that usually happens quickly, right? Like you like someone, you just kind of dive into it. And the pace of how wonderful things are going can sometimes really tempt you to be like, I gotta tell the world, right? Like all of these wonderful things are happening for me. But I think, again, this is where it gets sticky, because the rubber hasn't necessarily met the road quite yet. And I do think that it's worth giving yourself some time for things to get into a more paced cadence, like just a good rhythm, before you really start thinking about exposing this relationship. Like once some of that stuff dies down and now you're just back into the groove of life, right? Like now we going to work every day, or, they're a part of my routine and not so much they're consuming my life. I think that's when you want to more so lean into, maybe it's time, right? When it feels like they're consistent, I still feel appreciated. Maybe we've even had our first difficult conversation. Maybe we've had a moment where we conquered something, and that also feels good, but it was a moment of tension. And so you feel well paced to maybe think about like, okay, this could be real, and not just quickly exposing all of those like really euphoric feelings in the beginning, right? Like just pace yourself a little bit. Give yourself some time to settle down into that lovely euphoric feeling.
It takes time.
Yeah.
And it's okay for you to take your time.
It's totally okay. We want you to take your time. We encourage you to take your time, especially if you, again, have been out of it for some time, because you long for it. I say this as a person that's been single for a while now. You yearn for that feeling. And so when you get it's exciting, because you're like, oh my God, he could be the one. But you don't want to get so blinded by what you haven't had. So you're giving this person a lot of credit for what they're showing up and doing, that you jump the gun, that you throw something out there. And then it's like, oh, what happened to the amazing, sweet guy that does all the wonderful things? It's like, yeah, well, 3 weeks in, I realized it was all a lie. It was all a lie. So pacing yourself and taking your time is super important.
Yeah. What's that saying? It's best to measure twice and cut once.
Deep.
Like you definitely want to be in a position, because you don't want to be the person that's reneging, that's coming back and be like, "Ooh, oh," like that person where somebody go to your page was like, "Yeah, I forgot her man's name." Oh, I don't see him on the page no more. I guess something happened. Something happened. And it can happen at any stage, but I think we would want to try to reduce the possibility of that being a thing, to where you're coming out saying you're with somebody and then you're no longer with them. I would just say, take your time. If they are, that's the thing too, is like, if you are really in a space of looking for long-term partnership, why are we rushing to do so many things?
Yeah.
It's like we almost want to kind of like put this label on things early and title it early, to where, honestly, for those who don't know, and I know this because I'm married, is that the things that you think come through words and assigning titles. When it's real, it comes naturally without that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to declare to the world that you are in a relationship or with somebody, because the feeling that you have with them is real anyways. Like, you don't need these other things to validate your relationship.
Right.
And honestly, especially early on, when you're the most vulnerable, when you don't know the person that well, when they're just getting to know you, those outside opinions can hurt the relationship, because they start to change your perception of that person that you didn't even have.
You weren't even thinking
You
about.
weren't even thinking about. And I've seen that happen even without social media in real time.
Yeah.
Especially when I was in college playing football. A dude, you know, talk to a girl, talk about he really like her. Team starts knowing, oh yeah, my whole boy did what was so and so the other night, and you know, and you start saying all these perceptions, whether they right or wrong. And I saw it change somebody's opinion on the person that they were so highly on and really liked and cared about, and they're like, just because they opened it up to the world.
Succumb to the social pressure.
You succumb to the social pressure, and now in the digital age, it's even.
Oh, it's even worse. It's even worse
because somebody can make a comment, and then you got sub comments. Those people's like, I was thinking the same thing.
Like, I'm glad you said it. I wasn't going to say nothing.
That comment got 500 likes now. So it's like, you really believe these things. And it's like, that's not even your own experience. You're just projecting things that you heard and not what you believe.
Yeah. And that really jumps into the next P. Like, you touched on so many things in the next P, which is protection. Like, that is one of the biggest reasons why I support and understand why people are hesitant to jump to social media with their relationships. And I don't necessarily mean about the protection I spoke about with the first P, which is like just safety reasons. Yeah. Yes, that matters, but protecting your relationship from scrutiny early on is very, very, very important. And granted, there might be things that you want to know about a person. We're all, I think, sometimes thinking and hoping that like they are exactly who they say they are, that I'm not going to be out here with a person for 6-7 months and then I expose them and then somebody's like, that's so-and-so's husband. Like you very much hope that does not happen, right? Yeah. So that is one of the, I guess, downsides to being very private at first. But if that's not on the table, like the protection of the ear gates and the eye gates of your relationship, not just your individual ones, but you all should feel like we're making these decisions. Like, I am here because I feel very connected to you. I feel very drawn to you. I've done the work of like deep diving into certain questions so I can figure out your character or who you are when you're maybe not even around me. I'm doing that work and I'm not allowing outside people to influence that. And sometimes people are like influencing your mindset around something, not even based on your person or the person you're dating, not even based on what they know about you, their friend or their family member. It is completely coming from their own capabilities or their own experiences. Most of us have heard that story where Jay-Z talks about his uncle telling him, you cannot sell 100,000 records. Like you can't do that. And obviously, as he says, I've gone on to sell 100,000 records 100,000 times. Like I've done it over and over and over again. And he wasn't offended by what his uncle said because he realized in that moment, my uncle was only speaking from his own capability. He can't fathom that. He's never sold one record. He also doesn't know anyone personally that's sold one record. So sometimes that influence is something that you need to protect yourselves from, because some people just aren't evolved enough, emotionally intelligent enough to know when they're projecting their stuff onto you and coming across as a hater, right? So while you're trying to make this relationship flourish, now your relationship with your cousin or your friend or your whatever is being tarnished because they can't see beyond their own thing. So that's to me, pace and protection really go hand in hand, that you all are being very smart about protecting what you have, especially if it is for the long run. Once you really learn that, that's one of the biggest things I hear from married people, from you, from like everyone that I know that is married. That is one of their cornerstones, that like our marriage is our marriage. It is like our thing. And yes, we can get guidance. Sure, we can get insights, but this is our thing to deal with. We're not going to run to everybody about our marriage. Yeah. So you should be doing that foundationally in your dating process as well.
Yeah. And I think it's also protecting the other person too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, we've seen it on social media so much, which the soft launches, I guess you could call them hard launches because people show up married, right?
Yeah, like Taylor Rooks
Like
recently.
Taylor Rooks
Not mad at
recently
it.
is like she showed up on social media basically married. Beautiful couple.
Yep.
But there was also comments about negatively about her, but also about the man as well, right?
Yes.
And depending on who you are as a figure, like you see that with her, or even when Issa Rae did it as well, it's like some people may not feel that that person is X, Y, and in their mind, they might be like, well, how would I deal with this from dating to engagement to marriage with all these negative comments? I just popped out at the wedding. You can't say nothing because that's my husband anyway.
That's
so
right.
you leaving negative comments, do all of them here. But now proceeding, there's nothing else for you to say.
That's right.
Right. Versus having to extend it the whole time. So I think it's about protecting the other person too. And that's one thing that's big in relationships and marriage is like you have to have each other's back and understand how your actions could also affect your partner. And it's your job to protect your partner in moments where you can through your actions and not just only with their actions.
Totally agree. Totally agree. And last but not least, proof of life. This becomes a thing, which I think is a good thing, right? When you really think about it, like, okay, now things feel really good, right? Like we've crossed certain barriers and I feel comfortable showing people that like I got a man, y'all. I locked in a girl, and you want to do that. And I think it's a beautiful thing when it's time. But I also think that, as you said earlier, expose your people to your people in real life. You know, I disagree when people say social media is not real. I do think social media is real. It's just filled sometimes with very curated stories. It's filled with portions, tidbits, sound bites of real things. A lot of times there are also lots of fake things on there, but I do think social media is a real thing, but it does not trump what's happening in your actual day to day. Like what my mother thinks about my partner is way more important to me than however many thousands of people follow me across platforms. Like I would be grateful and appreciative for people to be supportive whenever I do share my partner, but I care about what my friends think. I care about what the men who have helped me in my singleness think about my guy. You know, I want to know what my brother feels about this man. And so to me, I'm more so thinking about those checkpoints. I'm really not thinking about the social media checkpoints. Those are fun and those are cool. And, you know, you can get a lot of, you get an audience, right? And I think we like when people clap for us. But I would much rather feel like the love and the security of knowing that I chose a person that fits into my day-to-day life, that fits into like my life that really matters to me. And it's not that my people online don't matter, but there is a hierarchy. There is like here. And honestly, I could delete all of that. Like if I let all of that go, I would be fine. And I never want my life to be so incredibly emotionally dependent on what happens online that I suffer when people overanalyze me on the internet. I went through that, you know, on this podcast where like I was dragged, and in the moment I was like, oh, haha, whatever. But in my house and in certain moments, I was very hurt by that. It very much bothered me, but I realized that meant I needed to do something, right? I needed to do some soul searching as to why a stranger who was not in my relationship, who knows nothing about me, and then all of the subsequent people that are like him, why would it tear me up so much? And so I think that's how I keep that, right? Like my mama would never do that to me.
Yeah.
My best friends, they would never do that to me. Dre would never do that to me, would never go on the internet and like expose me or make me feel stupid for my decisions. So that's who I'm going to worry about showing my relationship to or sharing my relationship with. By the time y'all see him, not only does my mama know him, she love him. You know what I mean? Like that's her boy. You know what I mean? Like that's really what matters. Proof of life is like true life, day-to-day life.
Yeah, I agree. There should be a small list, and that's an exercise people can do, is create a list of people whose opinions really matter to you and focus on those people.
That's it.
Like all those other things, I mean, it's just going to play with your emotions. The positive ones will feed your ego. sometimes possibly in a very negative way. So it's not even always a positive effect to it. And then the negative things are going to, hurt your pride and hurt your ego too, and maybe make you distrust things or introduce things into your relationship that you never even thought to introduce. And honestly, as I think about it more, I don't, unless you need social media for
income
or like trying to build a business, like the way that I would operate with social media would be so much different. Like, oh my gosh, private page, only the people that I know and want to follow and want to follow me would be my engagement with it, and that's it. I won't be unrealistic and say don't have it, right? But the way that you engage with it, I would do it so much different. Even if, like right now, my brand is so tied into my relationship with my wife and stuff like that, our page being private and doing all the things we're doing just makes a lot of sense to have it the way it is. But even if I ran a business like I don't know, grass cutting, landscaping, and I need to be on social media, I would have a private page that's just my page, right? Because it's just the advantages of it. It's kind of, I remember Sacha Baron Cohen, I think that's his name, that played Borat and all those things. And he was talking on a round table with the Hollywood Reporter, I think is the thing. If you ever seen those actor round tables or director round tables, those things are like really good when you see the actors talking to each other. But he said something about fame. He was like, outside of sleeping with women that are outside of like your normal ability to be able to get if you weren't famous, like I don't get the appeal of it. And it's like, yeah, you're right. And it's like outside of trying to get, you can maybe make some money on but it's like outside of, the obvious few benefits of it, it's like if you don't need to expose your life to people, then especially people you don't know, and invite other people's opinions, like, why do it?
Why do it? Yeah, why do it? And I think it is for a certain subset of people, especially people when you think about their backgrounds. Maybe they didn't have a life where they were validated in their own homes with their parents and stuff like that. To me, those are the people that have the most unhealthy relationships with social media because they become addicted to the attention. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm with him. Like I look forward to the day when I can just be downloaded and informed about what might be happening that's relevant to me. But it's not because of doom scrolling. It's not because of my own interactions with it. Like, you've heard me say this plenty of times, like, child, as soon as I can pay the people to do the stuff, I really don't want much of anything to do with it. Or when I do, it'll be rare. Even if you follow me today, you see that. Like, I'm not a frequent poster. I have to be better about it for this purpose. But other than that, like, I'm just not that person. And no shade to the people that are, but I think about curation so much. And when I think about my real life, I certainly have plans in place and I make certain decisions around that, but I don't use the term curation when I think about my real life. I only think about that when I'm presenting to social media. And so I don't want to curate my relationship in that way, right? Like, I just don't want to do that. I want that to feel a lot more like natural to my heart and just real. And I don't want to be so of colors and like, what font do I use? And like, I can't do that when it comes to that type of stuff. I appreciate the people that do. I look forward to hopefully employing someone one day that's amazing at that. But when I think about me, I'm just a lot more, I don't know. I want to just feel the energy and I want to go with that. And I share when it feels natural to me. And I don't want to feel the pressure of sharing when it's not natural to me. Like, it's stuff that some people may not, like, literally today, like, you'll never know about me that some of my friends know or my family knows. And I like that. I like that I have these little videos, these little moments that are just like mine, that feels very good to me, that I still have something that's just for me or just for us, those that were there. If you know. I'm excited about this kind of little piece that we're introducing to the show because I feel like people very much resonate and understand green flags versus red flags. And I think for every topic, you can identify the green flags and the red flags. So when you're thinking about like soft launching and that conversation between the two people, because it's a relationship or a budding relationship, I might feel a certain way about it, and you might feel a completely different way about it. And I think there are red flags for when someone is saying, "Oh, I'm private. I don't show my relationship. I don't know." There are green flags to pay attention to when someone is being sneaky versus someone is like truly caring about all the things we just shared. So I want to jump into some green flags.
Okay.
Consistent offline effort.
Yep.
Huge green flag. Okay. Like, take the apps out of the picture. What are they doing on a daily basis or regular basis that is consistent, that shows you this person really wants to be with me? If they are showing up and showing out for you in person, it really shouldn't matter if they're posting you on the internet, right? Like, that just doesn't matter when someone is like giving it to you in person, right? So that's a huge, huge, huge green flag. Agreed?
I 100% agree.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Next green flag is that they've introduced you to people in their life.
Yep.
If they don't ever take you around their friends, if they don't ever take you around family, and it's been time, like y'all been kicking it, and it's 6-7 months in, and just you never even met the bestie, you never even like met the homies that he hangs out with, definitely a red flag. But it's a huge green flag if he is doing that, if he's showing you, and again, exposing you to people in his real life, not the internet or those thousands of people that follow him that he doesn't even know, right?
Yeah, if they hiding you from social media, that's one thing. But if they hiding you from the people that's actually real in their life, that's a whole different thing.
That's a whole different thing. And I would say, the last thing is really how they acknowledge you, right? Like how they speak of you. When you hear them talk about you to other people, which again, after you've spent so much time together, this is likely something that will happen. Y'all are together. They might get a call. Friend, family member, hey, what are you up to? If they never acknowledge like, oh, I'm with my friend, or I'm with my girl, or I'm with my boo, if they never say anything like, because at a point you are just friends, right? If it's the first couple of weeks, that's all y'all are, okay? No pressure. But if they never acknowledge you to be someone significant, or they say, I ain't doing nothing, I'm just kicking it, but you sitting right there kicking it with them, and they never make mention of that, that is the red flag. But acknowledging you in person is huge.
What do you think about the name introduction?
I think it should be progressive. I think it should move. It should flow.
Like, this is Jasmine.
Right. Like, and again, the first couple weeks, this is Jasmine, this is Jasmine, you could use cutesy names like, this is my boo, this is my, but maybe you all haven't made it official. It should progress with the relationship.
Actually, so you shouldn't be a year in saying a name.
Nah, you should not be. There should be a title and a name. And I'm honestly okay with you leaving the name off, because I'll do the name. You do the title. I'll do the name. This is my wife. Yeah, I'm Rhonda. Yeah, it's like, I better get the title. Like, you have to do that. If you don't do that, then Jasmine could be your coworker, your sister, and pay attention to those patterns, right? Like, when you see him introduce his sister, does he say, this is my sister? But then when he says something about you, is this just her name? So that there are things to really look out for. And that's a huge one. That's a huge one. If a person can't acknowledge you in real life, you have no chance of being acknowledged on social media. Not at all. All right.
I have another green flag.
Oh, go.
I think them wanting to communicate about how you're going to handle it is a green flag.
Yes.
Like, not saying we agree on what it is, but the fact that they're bringing up the conversation about, how do you want to go about this? What's the best way to do this? Like, I think that's a green flag as well.
I agree. Because it's the world that we live in today, and it is really a thing. And for some people, it's a very serious thing of how you expose your relationship online. A couple of red flags is that there is strict secrecy, and not just online, like even in real life. If you notice that you're always being relegated to the house, or late night hangouts, or the spots you hang out in, dark, all the time, that is strict secrecy. And they're 9 times out of 10 keeping you private through and through, because they can't expose you to other people.
I remember one time where I was with one of my boys who played in the NFL, and we were out just partying, having a good time with him and some of his teammates. And I remember, how it goes, girls in the section, all that stuff like that. And one of the girls put out their phone to do like a selfie video, and they parted like the Red Sea. All of them just turned like,
hold on.
oh, no, I'm not going to be in this. Like,
yeah.
Like if you going to pull out a video, and they like, nah.
No, don't put that down. Put that down. Yeah. What you doing with that? Yeah, there's no phones.
Why you record me?
Yeah. So be very mindful of that, because if someone is, again, over time, that continues to be the thing, they're likely hiding you from someone. The whole Drake thing, I hide my kid from the world hiding the world from the kid. Yeah, they hiding you from the world for a reason.
That's actually a good exercise. Like if y'all go and do something and you're like, hey, I want to get somebody to take a picture of us. Mm-hmm. See if they like, yeah, cool. Mm-hmm. Or they like,
they freak out. They freak out. And I think, even when it's early on, right? Because like I've taken a photo with a guy on like the second date. I think though he was smart enough to know that I wasn't taking that picture to share it today. Yeah. I wasn't taking that picture to post it online and be like, out with him. Is my man. Like I think you should know that. And if you're dating and you're truly single, that wouldn't necessarily feel weird to you.
Yeah.
Like you hope that people aren't weirdos, and we really don't know until we know, child, that they crazy. But I love when people are still kind of doing that documentation in the background, with hopes that one day, if I do ever decide to share something, I kind of see this journey, or we can look back at it together. Like, this was a picture from my first day. I can't remember whose story I was looking at the other day, but they were talking about like they took a photo together on their very first date, and they're married today, have kids, been together for a very long time. But I love that, like looking back at a memory of like, we had no idea what we were doing right here. We had no idea what was going to come of this, but we have this cool picture to look back at. But yeah, if someone is like overly like, pardon the Red Sea, as Dre said, they probably are not just private from social media. They probably have something else going on.
Very true.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So to Dre's green flag, kind of getting into the takeaways from this episode, the open communication on expectations, like talking about it. I think that's very real. And I think this is a wonderful, great early conversation, right? Like this is something that you talk about, I would say within the first few dates. Like just throw it out there as an idea. Like you probably know if they're on social media, like, what do you think about this? At least soft introduce the conversation just to get their insights on it. And I think this is a subject that most people can work through.
Yeah.
And I find an immense amount of room for compromise in this particular area of a relationship. I would hate to see anybody's relationship not working out because they don't agree on sharing something on social media.
Yeah.
20 years from now, we have no idea what this landscape will look like. And I would hate to look back and think people lost their partner over, well, I want to post all the time and you don't want to post any of the time. It's like, what are we really like talking about? So open those lines of communication so that really how they feel about it, and share your perspective. You never know how their perspective could change your perspective. Like, I never thought about it that way. Maybe it doesn't really matter that much. And it mattered a lot more to me 10 years ago. It mattered a lot to me when I was in a relationship 10 years ago that he posted me on his page. And it was almost like a relationship requirement.
Yeah.
Where today, it matters, but I mean, a mustard seed. Yep. It matters the size of a mustard seed. That it just, I care more about what you're doing with me in real life than what we expose to the internet. Any key takeaways for you?
I agree with everything that you said. I think from being married, one of the most important things, besides all this, social media, people's opinions outside, one of the most important things that you'll have to understand and learn how to do in a relationship is communicate how you both feel.
Yeah.
And come together and find a solution to the thing, especially when you have opposing views on what should be done. Mm-hmm. All this is just another exercise in doing that, because you are going to have to do this for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, to where you both are going to see things completely different.
Yes.
You both are going to want completely different things, but you're going to have to come together and figure out, all right, what do we want to do? What do you want to do? What do I want to do? What makes sense for us right now? all right, what makes sense? What's our plan for the future? You know, try to think of different avenues of different things that we can happen. This, how we'll handle this. This, how we'll handle that. Like, it's going to be such a great exercise for your relationship. And it's so funny that some people get so deep in a relationship and then they run into so many issues. But I'm like, you ignored a lot of the exercise and practice of doing things. You just deferred a lot. You just deferred a lot of things. Like, you just like, all right, what they say, put it under the rug. All right, we'll do it later. Throw it on the rug. Throw it on the rug. Now that rug,
it's sitting up.
It's sitting up.
You can't walk across it.
Can't walk across it. Can't walk around it now. You got to address it. But it's like, if you were just doing the exercise of going through those things and solving those problems from the beginning, then you will have the tools now, or built up the strength and endurance and stamina to be able to withstand the things that are coming at you now. But you never took the time to do the work in the beginning with these smaller things to work through the things that it's kind of like practice in sports. It's like we work through these things when the stakes are lower.
Yes.
Right? The stakes aren't as high right now.
We know what to do when they're high.
Exactly. Yeah. So we can talk about what to do on social media, when we're going to post, when we're going to do this. But when we got to make a decision about our child, stakes are a lot higher.
Yep.
But if you never worked through anything or talked about it and communicated and came to a consensus about anything, you don't even understand how to get this. But now you're doing it when this is something that will possibly make you leave the relationship if y'all can't come to an agreement.
Yes. Yes. And it's funny because, and I know this from you just, you know, in the years that you've been married, every single time you and Bree hit a moment of like, we don't see this the same way, and it takes that exercise, you always say like, we're just like better for that. Like, we're so much better after that. Like, we did something together. I think it makes you just like almost like fall in love with this new part of this person because you did something hard together. It's like, I didn't have to figure it out on my own, or you wanted to get in the ring with me just as much as I wanted to get in the ring with you. You introduced thoughts and perspectives, or just were honest and vulnerable and allowed me to hear your heart. And I let you do the same thing. And it's like, damn, we did that. Like, there is no greater feeling. Speaking of sports, y'all, if you new here, Dre loves the sports analogy. When you did all those practices and you did it in a low stakes environment, and then you put that to practice in the game, and then you win the game, it's so much more rewarding because we did so much to prepare for this. We went through all these drills and runs, and I love to use the word audibles even when I don't know if it fits.
It works.
It works. Okay, thank you. And then it winds up working out. You wind up feeling so much better for it. So that's that's advice to take through anything we're talking about, like sitting down and actually working through it and exercising that skill of trying to figure out what should we do, because you are two individuals and you come from different walks of life. Most of the time, you're not going to think the same. You're not going to arrive to the station the same way. And certainly on how to launch your relationship, you may feel very different. You may meet a person that doesn't have family, might only have one friend, not really active on social media. So none of this stuff was even a consideration for them. So be easy about the approach, but also just lean into it. Like, let's just have the conversation. Let's just have the conversation. I will say, listen, privacy is not secret, but being a secret is not safe. So we got to figure out both sides of that. And there is balance that needs to be struck in deciding when to launch a relationship.
I agree.
Yeah. We appreciate y'all.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully I got something away from this.
Yes, indeedy. And listen, tap into us. We will be here week over week. We're very, very happy to be back. Share this episode with someone who you think needs it, or someone that you don't know if they need it. Share it anyway. We love when you talk back. So please drop in the comments. When do you think you should launch your relationship? Are you like team 3 months, 6 months, when it feels right? Like, what's your vibe? And of course, leave us a 5-star review. We love those. And not only do they help us, they help people like yourself find our content. So we need you to sing it to the rooftops that you love Real Love Scenario. Of course, follow us on socials. I'm at Ronnie Cakes.
It's Dre Smith.
And at Relationship Restored. And we'll see you next time.
Peace.